Before you start watching this video, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and be present. If you're here, it's no accident. Listen until the end and allow yourself to recognize the signs the universe is sending you right now. For a moment, you believed everything was over. You thought those emotional waves, intense dreams, waves of energy flowing through your body, and exhausting inner work were in the past. You imagined that finally you could rest, that phase had ended. But now, something different is happening. Old patterns, strangely familiar, are reappearing. You wake up every night at the same hour, as if called by an invisible force. Numbers keep appearing insistently, repeating in sequences, becoming unforgettable. They seem to follow you, don't they? And then that deep, almost indescribable feeling arises, like an intuition whispering that something big is about to change again. If you feel reality shifting strangely, as if it's being redrawn beneath your feet, know this: you are not going crazy. In fact, you are facing the third spiritual awakening. Yes, exactly that. And if these specific synchronicities are catching your attention now, understand this well. They are not mere coincidences, but direct messages from the heart signaling that you are ready for the next level of consciousness. But the third awakening is different. It doesn't come with the impact of the previous ones. It's not noisy or chaotic. It's subtle, refined, quiet. Yet once you learn to listen to it, everything begins to change. If you wonder why your life seems disconnected, why signs that seem to disappear return, or why your intuition activated again without warning, keep reading. These synchronicities are not just spiritual curiosities but powerful invitations to pass through an inner portal. And only those who go through the third phase of awakening will recognize the true meaning of all these things. Remember the numbers that appeared during your first awakening? Maybe 1111 or 222 were the most common. Back then you wondered, what does this mean? Now it's different. The numbers appearing are deeper, loaded with meaning. They don't just indicate alignment, they activate something within you. 1010, 1212, and other repetitive numeric portals are not coincidences. They are like secret codes, marking that you've crossed a new spiritual threshold. And what's even more curious, you no longer react the same way when you see them. No more euphoria, no longer searching for answers outside. It's an inner calm, a certainty. Something inside you already knows these signs are important. Your soul takes a pause, recognizing the message before your mind understands it. This is one of the biggest clues that you are living the third awakening. This phase no longer uses synchronicities to lift you up, but to consolidate you. These numbers are more than signs. They are confirmations that you've entered a deep transitional state. You are between the story you have lived until now and the new path quietly opening before you. If the numbers appear frequently without you seeking them, it's because the universe knows you are ready to align with a deeper layer of your essence. Now it's not just about spiritual understanding. It's about spiritual embodiment. You become your own wisdom. But the signs don't stop at numbers. Everything around you begins to align. You think of a concept and immediately hear it in a podcast, see it on a billboard, or hear it discussed by a stranger. Objects, people, phrases, everything seems to have a personal meaning only you recognize. The universe starts to speak to you through symbols, not just signs. In the third phase, you stop seeking validation outside. Instead, the outer world begins to respond to your inner state. You'll be drawn to books containing exactly the lesson you need at that moment. You open a video randomly and, like magic, the first word seems like a narration of your current life. Animals cross your path at seemingly predestined moments. Song lyrics sing to you when you most need to hear them, even if you weren't looking for them. It's not just luck. It's not magical thinking. It's the natural reflex of an internal vibration so coherent that the outer reality automatically begins to align with it. When this starts to happen often and you stop wondering if it's a coincidence, you enter a state of trust, and then you know, you've crossed the threshold of the third awakening. It's no longer a phase of learning spirituality. Now you live spirituality. Suddenly, people from your past begin to reappear. A friend from years ago sends you a message. Someone you dreamed of reconnecting with appears again. Even toxic parents who seemed distant for years can resurface. And no, it's not a coincidence. If you recognize these experiences so far, take a deep breath and continue. This text is here to remind you, you are not alone on this journey. Keep listening and allow yourself to integrate each word as a confirmation of your process. In this phase, the universe doesn't just offer you signs, it tests your growth. These reunions, these reappearances, are practical proof of how much you've evolved. Maybe you just released an old trauma or healed an emotional wound, and immediately, bam, the past returns. But now synchronicity is not only in the person who reappears but in the chosen moment. The universe gives you the chance to show that you are no longer your old version. It's not about revenge or rejection. It's about recognition. You can look at the old cycle without repeating the same patterns. These people aren't spiritual enemies, they are mirrors. Mirrors that appear to show you the last traces of energy to be released, not with anger but with wisdom. You begin to understand that each return is an opportunity to respond differently. The more new ways you choose to act, the more the universe bends in your favor. You enter a room and instantly feel the tension in the air, even if no one said a word. You perceive the intentions behind words, behavior patterns, hidden tones and conversations. But unlike before, this doesn't destabilize you. It informs you. Your perception is no longer chaotic sensitivity but expanded spiritual consciousness. At the first awakening, everything seemed confusing. You absorbed emotions, carried burdens that didn't even belong to you. Now you've developed boundaries, clarity. Your abilities return, but not to confuse you but to guide you. You see manipulations before they happen. You feel emotional triggers before they control you. You recognize internal patterns and gently correct them. You've stopped being reactive, becoming a conscious observer. Your spiritual intelligence stabilizes. Now synchronicities are no longer isolated events. They have meaning, a purpose. If all this sounds familiar, you know your third awakening is not about to come. It has already begun. You must remember how time seemed distorted at your first awakening. Hours felt like minutes, days blurred. That feeling returned, but now it doesn't scare you. On the contrary, it's almost comforting. A sign that something invisible is changing again. Your perception of time begins to dissolve, but you don't panic. You know that time speeding up or slowing down is just a reflection of your energetic state. You lose yourself in deep thoughts and return with absolute clarity. You may forget the day of the week, but you always know what to do. The old obsession with deadlines and clocks loses its emotional weight. Now you live by alignment, not obligation. Last-minute cancellations, unexplained delays, all part of a bigger synchronism. You learn to trust the flow. Something curious happens with mirrors and reflections too. Looking at yourself, you see a new version of you. A deeper presence beyond your own eyes. Sometimes your face seems different, as if reflecting the inner transformation in progress. Life begins to reflect your thoughts almost immediately. You think of someone and that person sends you a message. You mentally ask a question and the answer soon appears in a phrase, a song, a stranger's conversation. Synchronicities become perfect mirrors of your inner frequency. The universe doesn't respond to your wishes but to your vibration. Where there is inner resistance, life shows it. Where there is peace, it reflects that too. You understand you are neither punished nor rewarded. You are simply shown in real time where your energy truly is. Now is the moment of greatest responsibility. In the third awakening, the time between thought and reality shortens drastically. A simple thought can become an event. That's why you begin to care even more about your inner dialogue. You stop complaining, speak less but with much intention. Words are now seeds and you are the fertile soil. If reality responded almost instantly to your thoughts, you are not imagining things. Your consciousness has become powerful enough to shape matter. You no longer wait for signs, you are the sign. Your intuition is now clear, direct. You know when something isn't right without needing confirmation. You feel more but no longer drown in emotions. Your inner compass is so well calibrated that external chaos no longer affects you the same. In dreams? They have become coded messages, predictions of scenarios to come. You meet people you don't yet know, visit places you haven't physically contacted yet, but which somehow already belong to your energetic story. Dreams are no longer just symbolic. They are precise, almost prophetic. If you are living all this, you know it's not a coincidence. It's not imagination. It's confirmation. You've come this far. Don't ignore the signs. Don't doubt your path. Don't exaggerate, don't invent stories in your mind. You remember who you truly are. And now it's time to act. Trust. Honor this new level of consciousness. Allow yourself to live the third awakening with courage, surrender, and authenticity. The universe is ready. And you finally are too. Let this be your confirmation. You are awakened. And your transformation has already begun. Now it's your turn to choose. Will you keep waiting, or will you fully live what you came here for? The next step is yours. Go with intention and an open heart. The world responds.